My name's Noah. I'm an alcoholic.
My name's Gabe and I'm a codependent.
Welcome to the stream. And the sound's good.
This sounds good. All right.
Uh, so I guess let's start with the Serenity Prayer.
Okay. God,
God, grant
grant
me
me
the
the
serenity
serenity to
to accept
accept
the
the
things
things
I
I
cannot
cannot
change,
change,
the
the
courage
courage
to
to
change
change
the
the
things
things
I
I
can,
can,
and
and
the
the
wisdom
wisdom
to
to
know
know
the
the
difference.
difference.
Amen.
Amen.
Today's topic is just maybe. Don't know what that means yet. Just maybe I'll find out.
Right.
There is no. Here, let me switch it so people can see it a little better too. There we go. There is one thing more than anything else that will defeat us in our recovery. This is an attitude of indifference or intolerance toward spiritual principles. When we first came to AA or NA, many of us had great difficulty accepting the spiritual principles underlying this program, and for good reason. No matter how we tried to control our addiction, we'd found ourselves powerless. We grew angry and frustrated with anyone who suggested that there was hope for us because we knew better. Spiritual ideas may have had some bearing on other people's lives, but not on ours. Despite our indifference, our intolerance toward spiritual principles, we were drawn to Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous. There we met our other addicts. They'd been aware we'd been they've
Yeah.
they'd been where we'd been, powerless and hopeless. Yet they'd found a way not only to stop using, but to live and enjoy life clean. They spoke of the spiritual principles that had pointed the way for them to this new life of recovery. For them, these principles were not just theories, but a part of their practical experience. Yes, we had good reason to be skeptical, but these spiritual principles spoken by other NA and AA members really seemed to work. Once we admitted this, we didn't necessarily accept every single spiritual idea we heard, but we did start to think that if these principles had worked for others, just maybe they'd work for us too. For a beginning, that willingness was enough. Just for today, just maybe the spiritual principles I hear spoken of in a NA might work for me. I am willing, at least, to open my mind to the possibility.
You want to switch the screen?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, these are. I completely agree, but we've had a couple on spirituality
Yeah, these
and.
are all kind of running together. I wish I would have brought my books so that
Mhm.
we could start reading stuff from there too.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely you could do that. Um, but for me, this is very much like
Well,
preaching
I
to the
well,
choir.
I felt like it was more. I know it's all about spiritual growth, and but what I heard from this was going to meetings and
Hmm.
seeing other people struggling or that have struggled, and you hear stories from them like that. Oh yeah, that's I've done that, and to see
Hmm.
where they are now,
Hmm.
that's kind of what I got from this message of being able to see almost yourself in some of these other recovering addicts.
Hmm. Oh, absolutely, that's powerful. Um, for sure. I think it's relating that to this the spiritual aspect because a lot of those people are going to have strong spiritual lives, like a strong connection to their higher power, whatever that means, or they probably wouldn't be where they're at. Honestly, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But I mean, I have a strong spiritual faith and belief that, you know, I need my higher power and can't do anything on my own. So,
Right.
you know, for me, it's like, yeah, I get it. Um, and I can imagine that being a really difficult position because, you know, being able to accept that right away that, like, yeah, I know there's a higher power and I'm ready to engage with this program has been really nice and has really been
Mm-hmm.
freeing and also like directional. Like, it gives me a structure in which to like think and feel, you know, as opposed to just like a big chaotic mess, which I think is where I used to be. Um,
I
but
think it's nice to see that people can come back from the addiction and still find happiness and in everyday life,
mm-hmm,
where as normally you'd be wanting or focusing your whole day about drinking, and then like if I'm wasted or high, that's the only way I'm going to be able to enjoy doing what I plan to do,
mm-hmm, right,
like going to um like a dinner or something like that. It's like the only way I'm going to be able to enjoy that is if I'm completely wasted.
mm-hmm, yeah, yeah. So taking away like your ability to be present for anything, I think, because it becomes all about the addiction. I mean, I can definitely relate to that. I don't know. I mean, for me, it's a little different because when I was drinking, it was more like, I don't know, like I was just so tired of like failing and feeling pain that it was like, this is just, you know, a way to not feel that way.
But didn't you look forward to that to
I
the drinking?
Yeah,
And
yeah, because I guess because of the addictive nature, it started to become something that I looked forward to, that my brain saw as like a positive. But
right,
now, I mean, I definitely think that it was preventing me from truly enjoying anything
right, yeah,
and
I agree.
from changing anything. So
Yeah,
it's like this like horrible combination of like,
being stuck.
yeah, it makes addiction makes itself the most important thing in your life and also makes it so that there's no room for change and that you can't be present and enjoy the things that are happening, you know, family
And the
functions
only
and
kind of change that's gonna happen is bad change. It's
well,
gonna
right.
get
Going further
right.
down the addictive path, yeah, it doesn't get like better, like good change.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. But like we should probably acknowledge that we've been gone for like a week and
Yeah.
not
Well,
on
we
the
just didn't
stream.
stream on Tuesday.
Right. Yeah. So if anybody missed us, we're back. We'll try to stay back. But we've had illness in the family and had some stuff to do with that, and it's really like
And it's because of some form of addiction,
true.
which I mean, it's so hard to see
Mm-hmm.
and know that, like the helplessness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, does it challenge you in your addiction at all? Because I mean, there's, you know, like when things are difficult, like they are right now, and I mean, it's not horrible. Our person is doing great, and it's, you know, it's
No, I
positive,
think
but
it's been a lot better.
mm,
If I think I was talking to my mom, I don't know if you were listening or not, but during all this stuff, I would have been more mad at my dad because I couldn't be home drinking. And I would focus all of my energy on the drinking aspect and be like, oh, is there a bar nearby or like a restaurant where, you know, like I could hurry up and like get drink and you'd be driving, you know, like I'd be like, you gotta drive, you know, I'm drinking. So I would have focused everything on that. I would have
Mhm.
focused this whole thing on
Mhm.
drinking
Mhm.
rather than just being there and living it.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, your recovery is powerful, and I've
Right.
been very impressed by watching you go through this. And
Like the first day, I did have like some anxiety, and I was like thinking like, what would alcohol be like right now, and trying to,
Mhm.
I don't know. And then I was thinking, you know, thinking that I don't know, just thinking stupid thoughts like, why did I do what I did? That caused me to not be able to drink ever again. Why?
Mhm.
Was
Mhm.
it worth it? No.
Mhm.
But I'm glad I'm here.
Right. Right. And to make sense of the alcoholic mind, like once it goes to that like madness place, like I've definitely used my like, second, third step on that to like, you can't make sense of that, probably for you, and especially for me being, the person living with the alcoholic or whatever. Um, and I mean, maybe other people would disagree, but I definitely had to give up on the, figuring out the mind of the alcoholic when you were drinking. Like, oh, why couldn't you stop? Wasn't I important enough? Didn't you care about our life? Like, and there's no kind of like a logic like that. So for anybody who's out there and you're hurting because of an addict, definitely, I mean, it hurts and it's horrible, and you can be angry at the addiction and them and God and everything else, but in reality, the person you love isn't really there making those decisions. I mean, there's no real, you know what I mean? Like the mind um, is not working in
Hmm.
in the way that it would without an addiction,
Right.
in a really present way. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's challenging. I think it's challenging to go
Hmm.
through
Right.
difficult family stuff and any stressors really, and not um, that I would want to drink again or do anything else like harmful to my family, but I definitely feel that thing of like, I wish there was like some relief, and that like temptation, like, for just like something like, and I mean, I have my green circle behaviors. There is relief in doing yoga and reading recovery
Hmm.
literature and
Going for a run.
going for a run. Talk to an Al-Anon friend.
Eating a delicious meal.
Well, I mean, that one's a little slippery, honestly, for me, like I was talking about at the hospital, like going home and
Mm,
eating a big plate of chocolate chip cookies. Like,
right.
you know, no, it's not a box of wine. So I can say, oh, this is okay. But really, I mean,
Right.
if I'm going to turn to a big
Well, I
pile
think
of sugar,
no, I think in moderation. Like
oh,
people
absolutely.
can still drink. They can
Right.
have like a glass of something
Mm-hmm.
once a
Mm-hmm.
month, once a week,
Mm-hmm.
and still be like, yeah, that's all I need.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just like a cheap meal, or for
Mm-hmm.
some people. And for other people, that's like,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I eat like that all the time. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. But I'm just talking about the correlation between uncomfortable or bad feelings and any negative behavior.
Right.
And that's what I'm always on the lookout for, when we've been going through this family stuff, and it's been, very hard for me because it reminds me of all my stuff with, my parents
Yeah.
being ill and going through all that. Um, it's just hard not to look for that out. It's like, and especially when there's limitations to what you can do, like the healthy stuff, like the weather was crappy, like today is pretty nice, but to not even be able to go for a walk or anything, that's when the cookies start to sound good, or like,
Okay, stop talking about cookies, or I'm gonna make you make them today.
or like a big binge marathon of whatever show I can find that's got 16 episodes. Things that are not, like you say, great in moderation, but in an out of control fashion is going to like
Right.
stop my life and not be healthy for me in any way.
Yeah.
Um,
Like eating and then having to have the TV playing as soon as you take your first bite of cereal. I mean, it's like a little crazy too.
it is a little crazy.
Yeah.
It is.
I know. Somebody needs to like check that out.
I I completely agree, but I eat my food in like 30 seconds flat. I don't have 25 minutes like you savor your food, right? You eat it slowly. This is not me. This is, sorry, you guys, this is like an aside that you're not going to understand because it's out of context. But Noah likes to bring up stuff that he's heard about and like flesh it out in the middle of whatever we're doing. So,
Hey, you're the one talking about cookies and TV and making me hungry.
I apologize. I'm trying to do good on my diet and feel my feelings and not run from them. So not run into the plate of cookies, not run into bed or shopping. That's probably like,
Yeah.
I don't even have access to a lot of like unhealthy stuff anymore, but like laziness, like I'm starting to worry about that one. Like, when life just feels too hard, like I'll like dick around, oh, what can I do to keep myself busy because I don't want to face it.
So, just maybe, we'll be able to get through this.
Just definitely if we apply the steps and
Yeah.
give it up to our higher power.
Okay, so I think today's stream went really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good, like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Fair amount of rambling, but that's all right.
It's fine. That's what you'll see at all meetings.
This is true.
Unless nobody wants to talk, then it's just like
I go to Al-Anon, so talking is not a problem.
I bet.
All right, well, let's wrap up with the Lord's Prayer.
Okay.
All right. Who made pickles? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. All right. Leave us a like. Leave us a comment.
Bye.